This one is for the women. What happens when you put effort in? That effort goes unrecognized. What happens whenever you do something for somebody else, or even just for yourself, and you're ridiculed for it? Not just the fact that it was done, but the way it was done, how long it took, when you did it, where you did it, what it looked like when you were done. We all know the answer. You look at what you've done as a waste of time, and you turn that regret and dissatisfaction in on yourself, and you're a waste of time. You become useless in your own mind. And receiving no acknowledgement at all is as bad or worse than receiving negative feedback constantly. Nobody can live like that. Not man or woman. People are so used to men just toughing it through whatever comes. Never getting praise, sometimes not even getting acknowledgement. They do things, and of course you're like, oh, well, what's the point in giving them appreciation for the bare minimum? Sometimes what you consider the bare minimum is everything someone's got, at least at that moment. Because just like you, each day is different for a man. What was his bare minimum yesterday may be more than he can even accomplish today. And tomorrow it may take everything he's got just to get there. Same thing with you women. Women have the same thing. I mean, you want recognition for doing the dishes, sweeping the floors, or if you're working a paying job, notice I said paying job, bringing in money, an accomplishment at work, or even just getting through the day. If you receive no acknowledgement or recognition, or he tells you, well, that's just the bare minimum, what do you expect? You feel absolutely destroyed. As well you should. If you're lying on the ground, weak and hurt, somebody walks by, looks at you, and then just keeps walking, you're still lying on that ground, weak and broken. What if somebody walks by and sees you and tells you how pitiful you are because you're in that state? Tells you how worthless you are, that it's all your fault. Now you just want to die. I don't know if that word's supposed to be censored on this platform or not. It's a shame that people are so afraid to talk about that. Anyway, but somebody walks by. For them, standing up off the ground, lifting themselves from the ground is bare minimum. They do it every time they get up off the floor. Every time they get out of a seat, get out of bed. It's bare minimum. No effort. But for you, it's more than you can even accomplish. But what if that person stops, looks at you, reaches down and lifts you off the ground, carries you to where you're trying to get? And now you feel empowered. Now you're ready for the next step. And the step after that. than every step to your goal. And you find out that by the time you get to your next goal, you're more powerful than you were before you started. If you look at a man and say, I believe that what he's doing is bare minimum, that may be everything he can do at that moment. He may be more broken inside than he lets on, because men don't talk about this. We're taught that our job is to just do, regardless. But if you tell that man, thank you, I love you, I appreciate what you do, he becomes the most powerful man you've ever seen. He'll accomplish things that you never even knew he was capable of. Same goes for you. If your man looks at you and says, thank you for washing the dishes, I'm glad that you finished the day today. And then he gives you a hug, says thank you for everything you do. You make Wonder Woman look weak at that point. Says nobody can get through life to their fullest potential without encouragement. Andrew Tate calls himself the top G. Well, nobody's coming to save you. You're alone. He's not. Andrew got encouragement from Tristan. His brother was his hand out, his hand up. When Andrew was lying on the ground, weak and broken, Tristan reached down, grabbed him by the hand, lifted him off the ground, and carried him to the next goal. And now, they both live very comfortable lives. And I mean comfortable by our standards, not comfortable by theirs. They work every day. That's fine. That's their choice. If he wanted to, he could just cash out all of his assets, pay 80% of his money, 90% of his money in taxes, still come out filthy, stinking rich, and just live the rest of his life in absolute luxury, never needing a single thing. It's always there. He chooses to work. He doesn't have to. Same with Tristan, because when Andrew reached his goal, he became the top G. Money, cars, homes. Then he reached down, grabbed Tristan by the hand, lifted him up where he was, carried him to his next goal. Even the top G, Andrew Tate, needed encouragement to reach his potential. So if your man is not reaching his potential, if he is not getting where you think he should be able to get based on what you've seen of him, reach down, grab his hand, lift him from the ground, and carry him to his next goal. And men, I encourage you to do the same thing for your women. Men, if you can find a good woman, be better than me. She's done me great harm. I've done her great harm. Her desire or willingness to forgive me, notwithstanding I could have done better. I was working the best I could with what I had. But I needed encouragement at the same time she did. When you're in a dark place, it's really hard to see out there. So you can reach out to help someone else. And vice versa. If you and your spouse, girlfriend, whatever, are both in a dark place, you can't see each other to lift each other up. Try anyway. Tell yourself, I'm hurting, but so are they. And if you lift them up while you're in pain, and they don't do the same thing, then I encourage you to avoid another thing that I did. Don't stick around. Because if you lift them up when they're down, and you're down, and they don't lift a finger to lift you up, they don't deserve you. Find someone who does. Or just be alone. Because it's better to be alone than it is to be with someone who cares more about themselves than they do about you. Love one another greater than you believe that you need to be loved. And you might be surprised by what people are capable of, what they can accomplish. That man that you're down on right now could become Superman with just a little encouragement. And that woman that you find to be dumpy and lazy as compared to what she was when you got together could become Wonder Woman with just a little bit of encouragement. Be better.